From the USA, last week we head to Europe for the 8th stop in the Experience Oman Ironman Pro Series and Ironman 70.3 Elsinore. After a few years away, the last professional races were back in 2022 and in 2023 just a professional women's race only. But we're back in this Danish town as part of the Pro Series. So not just valuable Pro Series points up for grabs, but 3 qualifying spots per gender for the Ironman 70.3 World Championships and just one of 3 races left before the qualification period closes. So there was plenty at stake for everybody. Hello and welcome to the Athletics Brewing post-race show. I'm Laura Siddall here to recap all the action. So let's head over to Denmark and see how the racing played out. The longest day of the year, 4:30 a.m. sunrise and light until 11 p.m. in this part of Europe, Denmark for Ironman 70.3 Elsinore, just under an hour north of Copenhagen. A stunning location in the harbour in front of the historic Kronborg Castle, the iconic old cannon firing to signal the start. One-lap Roka swim, a very unique course entirely contained within the harbour walls, hugging the edge and with lots of twists and turns, more like a WTCS and a short course race. And it was a short course athlete pushing the pace. Australia's Natalie van Coverdon, along with a pack of Fenella Langridge, Lena Meissner, Marta Sanchez, Lotte Wilms, Hannah de Vet and Louise Iona Pratt. Audrey Merlet, third at 70.3 Oceanside, was 45 seconds back, but with the longest run to transition could make up ground. The women were not hanging around, because behind them, Kat Matthews, 1:52 back as they started out on the Zoot bike course. One big lap, a flat and fast course, a couple of out and backs to see the competition. But the front women were pushing hard. Wilms, Sanchez, de Vet, all working well, maintaining a gap of about 2 minutes to Matthews. Matthews won Ironman New Zealand and 70.3 Geelong and was a DNF in Texas back in April before taking a break and now in a block of training for a full distance in 2 weeks. She rode a full lap of the bike course just 2 days before the race. Katrin Christensen has had an impressive third place in Hamburg 2 weeks ago, and having been 4:24 back from the front out of the swim in 17th, was flying on the bike and by halfway had caught Matthews, making it look effortless as she passed, eyes locked forward. Christensen, a former sprint kayaker and biomedical engineer specialising in sleep science. By 60 kilometres, Wilms, Sanchez, de Vet, Merlet, Meissner at the front, and Christensen just 41 seconds behind, having had the bike of her life. Langridge had dropped back after that early swim start group of 50 seconds, and Matthews further back in 8th. De Vet, the Belgian athlete, establishing herself as a strong swim biker, always near the front of the races on the bike. By the times Wilms were the first off the bike with this group, Christensen was just 15 seconds back, having ridden 3 minutes off the previous bike course record, now a 2:09.56. De Vet and Sanchez were first out onto the 3.5 lap Hoka course. Sanchez second in Texas, and a solid result of top 5s over the middle distance so far this year. Matthews found herself 3 minutes back at the end of the bike, perhaps not a position she wanted, but not necessarily a gap that she would be overly concerned about. And she charged out of the Ruvi T2, on a mission running the first 2 kilometres in 6:15 minutes, at a 3:07 minutes per K pace. At the front now, Meissner and Christensen, but Matthews was coming and fast, and in just 8 kilometres had eaten up the 3-minute deficit and made her move into the lead. A 16:36 run and 3 races and 3 wins for Matthews, and another maximum points race towards the Experience Oman Ironman Pro Series. Katrin Christensen, who has a 7-year-old daughter, just 35 seconds back in second, and Lena Meissner in third. And so to our professional men's race. Well, a truly spectacular race in Elsinore. The start and finish with Kronborg Castle in the backdrop. Over 45 professional men lining up in the calm 17 degrees C, 63 Fahrenheit harbour water. The race win, Experience Oman Pro Series points and 3 slots per gender for the 70.3 World Champs in Nice up for grabs. The cannon fired and chaos ensued. Belgian athlete Hannes Butters pushing the pace. He's led out the water in almost all of his races this year and would, along with 6 others, break away. This pack, Hannes Butters, Jamie Riddle, Ben Fay, Ollie Turner, Martin van Riel, Fraser Minniken, Vladimir Solok would fly through transition, running hard to the bikes and fast out onto the Zoot bike course. By 30 kilometres, Van Riel and Danish athlete Solok were driving at the front, exchanging places and working together. Solok, after a slow start to his year, has now had a win and a second in his last 2 races. A young athlete, he raced short course for Denmark before moving up to the middle distance in 2025. He's also had the fastest bike split on his way to second at the championships just a few weeks ago. Van Riel undefeated in all his 70.3 races so far in his career. He was second at Ironman Texas in April and for 2026 is focusing on the Ironman Pro Series, having raced the T100 last year. This pair would continue to work together and build their lead up on the bike over the rest of the field. The two would come into T2, 1:58.04 or 1:58.18 bike splits over 2 minutes off the previous best. In fact, 6 men would go under the previous best of 2 hours and 26 seconds. Van Riel was first onto the Hoka run, but Solok was not far behind. The chase, Riddle, Fay and Christian Hogenhaug, 2 minutes 40 back, as the run looped past the Kronborg Castle. In the early kilometres, Van Riel and Solok were shoulder to shoulder, and similar to how they had been on the bike. But by 5 kilometres, Van Riel was pulling away, and he would push on to extend his lead. The fight for the last podium spot looked like it was between Fay, Hogenhaug and Riddle. But Van Riel was untouchable as the kilometres ticked by on his way to the finish. He would take his 6th Ironman 70.3 win to remain undefeated over the distance and a new course record, 3 hours, 36 seconds and 3, the Ironman 70.3 Elsinore champion. Vladimir Solok, a fantastic race to push Van Riel, crossed the line in second, and a 1:09.25 run meant Simon Vienne of France ran through from 17th off the bike to 3rd. So the top 10 professional women for Ironman 70.3 Elsinore, Kat Matthews and another win to go with Ironman New Zealand and 70.3 Geelong. Katrine Christensen carries on her impressive year with another podium in second, and Lena Meissner in 3rd. Audrey Merlet, Marta Sanchez, Hannah de Vet, Lotte Wilms, Natalie van Coverdon, Fenella Langridge, Lena Bissig rounded out the top 10, de Vet, Langridge and Bissig taking the Ironman 70.3 World Championship slots. And how that looks for our Experience Oman Ironman Pro Series for our professional women? Well, Solveig Lofsted still sitting at the top, but Lotte Wilms, Kat Matthews and Fenella Langridge all moving back up to 2nd, 3rd and 4th respectively. Katrine Christensen jumps 5 places to 7th and Marta Sanchez up 10 into 9th. And our top 10 professional men from Elsinore: Martin van Riel, maximum 2,500 points for the Ironman Pro Series to go with his 2nd at Ironman Texas and a slot for the 70.3 World Championships. Vladimir Solok, another step up in performance to finish 2nd, and Simon Vienne, an amazing run to take 3rd. Jamie Riddle and Christian Hogenhaug take the 70.3 World Championship slots in 4th and 5th. Ben Fay, Thor Bendix Madsen, Lennart Severs, Pierre Dupuy and Raphael Lukács round out the top 10. And in the Experience Oman Ironman Pro Series standings for the men, well, no change to the top 5, Christian Blumenfeld, and then 4 Americans, Matt Hansen, Sam Long, Rudy von Berg and Ben Knut. Rasmus Svenningsen, 11th in Elsinore, jumps 9 places to 6th, and Martin van Riel jumps 9 places to 8th. That's all from Elsinore, as we are off to find the Danish bakeries to sample, before heading next to Germany and Ironman Frankfurt, the European Championships for our professional men. The 9th stop in the Experience Oman Ironman Pro Series. You can catch up on all the replays and action on ironman.com/Pro Series and Ironman YouTube. From Denmark, goodbye, and I'll see you in Frankfurt.